Boys, which it's The Boys, but this episode should have been called The Seven, because it was mostly about the seven. It had some boys in there, it did, but it was mostly about the seven. In this episode, they have a meeting in Vought Tower, and they talk a little bit, and they decide that they're going to do this, that, or the other. Then it rewinds and it looks at every person's aspect of what happened. It takes a closer look, a one shot of all of these different people who were in that meeting or affected by that meeting, and then it takes a little small look at the boys through the eyes of Terror, which is where I'm going to start. Apparently Terror has daydreams all day long of Homelander in precarious ways, positions, stuff. You shouldn't feed a dog chocolate, and he gets fed chocolate because Frenchie is debating over how he should approach Kimiko. She wants a life out of the chaos. His life is consumed by chaos. I'm guessing eventually he's going to give up the chaos because he's in love with Kimiko. But right now, he's like, I can't do it. I don't need, I've had plants and they've all died. She wants a dog. I don't want a dog. Wait a minute, throw a ball out, brings the ball back. Throw the ball out, brings the ball back. What's that all about? I don't want none of that. So he does not want the life that she wants, that she needs, that she deserves. But he's in love with her. Sacrifices are often made when you're in love with a person. You'll eat foods that you don't normally like. You'll go places that you don't want to go to. You'll befriend people that you would probably rather not befriend. You'll tell people they look good in outfits that they probably don't, but you don't want to hurt their feelings because you have an emotional bond with them. You give up things, you accept things, you do things that you normally would not do because you're accepting someone else into your life, and your life has to mold around theirs, their life has to mold around you. You have to be this. You can't be this. And he's going to have to mold around her life, and she's going to have to mold around his, because I'm pretty sure he still indulges in illegal substances. I get that feeling. That was mostly about those two. And saving Terror, because of course they're not going to let Terror die this early, well, right now. Saving Terror gives Billy a little bit of insight on how Huey and Frenchie feel. And he decides that they should help each other out more so than argue and fight. MM is having some really bad problems. And MM is obsessed with doing things certain ways because of the tragedy that happened in his life when he witnessed Soldier Boy unalive his father. So now like he says in the car one time, I need to turn the stove off. Click, 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 click. Turn it off and then on 3 times, because if I don't, I know Soldier Boy is going to show up in my house and unalive my family. He's compulsive like that. He has a thing where he's always putting cleaning gel on his hands after anything. Not so much now. He's given all of that up. And he eats a candy bar that fell on the floor, and he uses the 3,000 rule, which is something that African Americans, well, they did when I was younger. I would not suggest that, but if you drop something on the ground, if you pick it up before 3,000, it's okay. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. If you got it, you got it. And people around you be like, that was 4 1,000. You'd have to throw it away. Maybe. But he tells Butcher, it's the 3,000 rule. 3-second rule. I picked it up. Don't do that. It's on the ground. It's done. Don't pick it up. But he does that. And I'm thinking he's eating off the ground when before, if you shook his hand, he had to have some cleaning gel. Now his life's changed. He's the same and a different person, both at the same time. But that was really, that whole thing was to talk about Kimiko and Frenchie's lack of connection, and about Butcher making a connection with his team. And Kimiko talks a lot now that she can talk. I wonder if she talked a lot before she lost the ability to talk, or is something just motivating her to every few seconds. So that was Tara's vision. They show Ashley and back Ashley, and they go through her thing where she talks to Sister Sage, and Sister Sage is manipulating everyone. Soldier Boy, Ashley, back Ashley, and they can't read her mind, which is an important part of the story, I think, because if she could read Sister Sage's mind, then she would know what Sister Sage is planning. Sister Sage was in the bathroom, doing her business, reading a book. There was a knock at her door. It turned out to be Homelander. As soon as she saw Homelander, she started formulating a plan. Now, some of us, we look at the calendar and say, man, wow, they stuck a Friday in this week. Whatever shall I do with that Friday? And you make a plan. I gotta get the car, gotta put gas in the truck. Maybe I'll put some clothes in a bag. Maybe I'll go to my device on my dashboard and type in a location. And maybe I'll go see the Gathering of Nations Last Dance on the other side of the country and just go check that out. Ooh, I better bring some cameras and charge the batteries. You make plans for that Friday or next Friday or a month from now. But you don't think about every single thing that's going to happen. You give yourself a general idea of what you would like to do and what it would take to accomplish that. But with Sister Sage, she goes step by step by step, thinking about exactly what's needed and all of the things that could get in the way and what she could do to bring those into her plan or push those away from her plan. She said that she wants the Supes to take over. That was her plan. Then she said that she wants, revenge. And then she said recently, like yesterday, that she wanted World War Soup. So that the Supes and the humans would wipe each other out, and then she could go to her bunker and just sit and read a book like there's time at last. And she's in a Twilight Zone, episode where there's time at last. But that didn't work out for him. So she's got to assume it might not work out for her. She's going to set the heroes or the Supes and the humans at each other's throat, let them wipe each other out. She's got a bunker and she's just going to read and relax. That is also not her plan. But in all three of those plans, whatever her plan is, Homelander cannot survive. So her primary plan is to get rid of Homelander. I think the most intriguing part of all of that, I mean, you had Homelander and Soldier Boy. They met with Marathon Man. There was a lot of stuff that happened, but the most intriguing part of that episode was what is Sage thinking about? What is she going to do? She was with Godolkin, and Godolkin knew about V1. She may have gotten a sample of his blood and reproduced it. He may have still had a vial of V1. She may have just had conversations with him and brought it out. I mean, you can't read her mind, so he probably couldn't control her. And she probably got enough information about it that she could replicate it. I think either she has V1 in her system now, or she plans on giving it to herself later. I think V1 is a big part of her plan. She definitely doesn't want Homelander getting it. She keeps sending a Soldier Boy to tag along. And he's not a complete idiot. He has to know that he's being used, because it's kind of blatant. Oh, those guys are going over there? Maybe you should go with them. It's not even really undercover. She's just telling him, he's doing that. Maybe you should go. And he goes. So, maybe they're working together, or maybe he is just a useful idiot. But it's twice she's sent Soldier Boy with Homelander to try to goof up the plans. But unfortunately, this time, one of the soups has the ability to render Homelander unconscious, which seems like a pretty big thing. He can generate different types of gases. Misha. He can generate different types of gases, and he generates a gas that instantly knocks Homelander out. And I'm thinking, okay, you can't blow that guy up. You can't stab him. You can't poison him. But can you? Because you just knocked him out. So maybe the stuff that the poison is made out of, maybe the gas guy could have made something similar that wouldn't kill him, but he could kill Homelander. I mean, because he knocked him out instantly. He walked up to him, stood in his face, and went, and breathed the smoke in his face, and Homelander was gone. So, what do you do with a body that can't be destroyed, that's unconscious for maybe a few minutes? I mean, what do you do with him? You couldn't even have prepared a ditch with concrete and threw him in the wet concrete and hoped that it dried before he got out. Because as soon as he's conscious, he's just going to break out of it. I don't think they can suffocate him. Could they have suffocated? Could they have thrown him in an ocean and he drowned? I don't think so. I mean, as growing up his whole life, they tried to unalive him a bunch of different ways, and they couldn't. So they must have thought about suffocating him, and it didn't work. So they don't have a way to end this dude except, the virus or old age. So I was thinking, what were they going to do? I was thinking. But then they asked Soldier Boy to unalive him. You got that chest thing, man. Just do it now. Take away the V in his system, and then we can curve stomp him. And he's like, nah. I guess he picked a side. For whatever reason, he picked a side. Maybe he was nostalgic. Maybe he was like, it's my son. Maybe deep down he realized that. Maybe he's got plans for him in the future. I don't know. But he would, maybe it's just because he's a soup, I'm a soup. Wouldn't you like to be a soup too? You guys are humans. I'm not doing that. Well, the two that were primarily attacking him were soups, but everybody else in that room was human. I don't know. He didn't do it. He could have. He was laying right there. But he didn't do it. And it seems like that's the kind of thing you should be sure of before you do it. You know, you bring Fred over to your house, and then you invite a bunch of your buddies, and you're like, hey, quick, everybody jump on Fred. And one guy's like, I just borrowed $20 from Fred. He's cool. And another dude's like, Fred borrowed $20 from me. He owes me. I'm not jumping Fred. He owes me money. And you didn't read the room. You didn't know what was going on. And now it's everybody against you. That's kind of what happened. He's like, quick, let's get Homelander. And Soulja Boy's like, nah. When he gave them a negative reply, I was like, yeah, he's gonna kill all of these guys. And I just assumed that Marathon Man didn't have his powers, but he did. He was still fast. He might even be faster than A-Train. He makes reference to losing a race to A-Train. And he's like, you didn't let me get my race back. I would have beat him. You didn't let me race him again. He felt that he could have beat him. Even now, he feels that he could have outran A-Train. I mean, maybe not. We don't know. But there's a lot of celebrities playing themselves in this room. And they're playing cards and they're talking. And they all get unalived. Each one of them accidentally by Mr. Marathon. And he's got his man cave that he brings everybody into at first. And he's got a bunch of baby oil. I mean, hundreds of bottles of baby oil. And it's called Puff Baby. That's written on it. So that's a reference. You know, it's a Puff Daddy, Puff Baby. It was funny. There's a lot of references. Maybe I'll make a video where I go through all of them, but there was a lot of references in his house. And Mr. Marathon gets that work. Soulja Boy gets a chance to question him. Once he gets pretty much all the information he thinks he can get, Homelander's back and he unalives him. And that was a great scene. It was interesting. They're on the trail once again to V1. But I keep thinking about Sister Sage and her plan. I think she's going to be the end of Homelander because she's kind of several people. She's kind of Reed Richards, she's kind of Lex Luthor, and she's kind of Batman. She's really smart. She's the smartest person on the planet. Because they said smartest woman, and she corrected them and said smartest person. She's the smartest person on the planet. She just gets bored. But she's truly angry about what happened to her grandmother. And she wants revenge for that. And she wants revenge about that. And she's got a plan going. And it involves Homelander and his demise, apparently. So she's already putting things in motion. And she's sitting back. She's okay. When Homelander previously kicked her out of the 7, that was part of her plan. She knew it was going to happen, probably when she was talking to him in her living room. You hear people say, oh, I'm 10 steps ahead of you. She is leaps and bounds ahead of everybody. She's already got everything thought out. Like Batman, she's got contingencies upon contingencies. Like Lex Luthor, she's always the smartest person in the room. And like Reed Richards, I think she has built a doohickey. And that particular doohickey is V1. I think she's already got it. She's probably given it to herself already. She's ahead of everybody in this. And I dig that, man. I dig it. Because now I'm curious to see where it goes and see if I can figure out what she's doing. I'm ready. I'm ready for the next episode. But I would give The Boys, this episode, not the whole season, just this episode, 8 bags of popcorn. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was informative. And it's got me looking forward to the next one. 8 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. More importantly, what do you think about that? Now that you had a chance to look at the video, let's talk about it some more in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.